Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Minions of the Zoo Friday edition wildcard. I am Prospero, your host for this evening, and minions joining me are Skep Tock,
Hi, everybody.
Mr. Adam,
How's it going?
the Harry Channel,
Good evening.
Sanguine Mathghamhain,
Good evening, all.
and our traveling exhibit, DrFunctional.
In Soviet Russia, stream you. I don't know. I got nothing.
Nice try. Get a new writer. Well,
Still better than CNN.
Today was a fun day. I titled the stream Blow the Man Down. And then I realized, God, I'm old. I bet most people don't even know.
That refers to Kamala Harris's rise in state politics, or
No, the sea chanty, but that's that's okay. Well, chanties got popular just again.
Shanties are popular.
Well, I mean, but there was that weird resurgence where we were seeing them everywhere on TikTok.
yeah.
Because it was locked down and people were bored, I think.
Did you see the one that Shroom sent around,
I saw so many of them.
or was it Shroom or Roasted Opinions? It might have been Roasted Opinions. Anyway, one of them sent this beautiful acapella barbershop style. It was like a sea chanty medley of 5 or 6 of the popular sea chanties, and it's pretty awesome. I'll dig it up and give it another flip around.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of sea shanties because it's a type of song that any voice can work well in a sea shanty, whereas so many, they're locked into, you need a high voice, or you need a low voice, or you need to completely re-key the song in order to be able to do it.
Yeah. It is.
Hey, in all fairness, Sanguine, dude, you would be a sea shanty type of dude for sure.
I am.
Or you can just Roseanne Barr it like she did the national anthem. If you have no fucks, then there is no quality.
Roseanne Barr is a national treasure.
Wait, she did the national anthem?
Epically badly, yes.
As badly as Fergie.
Well, was Fergie's basically that they
That
took
was
away
the
her
one of the
auto-tune
basketball game.
and she couldn't sing, or was it just poor judgment?
It was
Both.
It was both, I think. I don't know, man. It was so horrible. I could only listen to a little bit of it and had to stop it because I was getting that whole body wriggle. That was just...
Yeah, I'm
Tried
still...
to do it without. You know how most people, if they try to sing the national anthem, there's such a massive range that they have to kind of squash it.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them will do an octave cheat
Yep.
in the middle of the song instead of seeing if they can't open their low register up and start it a lot lower.
Yeah.
But some people just don't have the chest voice to carry that
And-
off.
She decided to do neither of those. She neither had the range, nor did she do the kind of flattening of the...
She sounded like
song?
an epileptic hyena being electrocuted.
Oh, yeah, because she was trying to go
It
for
was
the high notes
horrible.
that were
It's
way
weird that you
outside
would
her
know what
range.
that sounds like.
Well,
I mean, first off, you don't want to be singing with your chest. You want to sing with
Strangely
your
specific.
stomach.
Strangely specific.
No, I mean chest voice, Adam, versus
Head voice.
Head voice.
I'm putting
yeah,
the
well,
sea chanties link in chat. By the way, there you go.
Thank you.
I'm going by
Diaphragmatic singing is what.
Yes,
You're
you want
Yes.
to...
Oh no, not singing with your throat, but what I meant is,
That's called Kamala-ing it.
There's head voice and there's chest voice. It's where the resonance point is.
are you a tenor?
whoa.
Are you a tenor, Adam? Or
Yes.
okay. So you're the higher male register. I'm an alto. We had to just learn to distinguish chest voice from head voice because of crossing. We cross between the two of them.
Shit, I had to learn as a
We
berry
doubled,
base.
we doubled tenors too often in choirs because there aren't enough tenors, and then they're like, okay, and now
Yeah.
shriek like a soprano. No.
Or is that like a Voices of Coloratura?
It's a weirdo thing because
See what I did there?
Yes. Yes.
My vocal teacher was always like, I know you want to be all, puffy chest, but you got to sing with your stomach and you got to puff out your, it was all, I don't know, man.
Oh, it's how you breathe, and it's for breath
Yeah.
control. Yeah, I know exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking about because I still
Looking back.
breathe more diaphragmatically than I don't shoulder breathe at all. I don't raise my shoulders when I take a deep breath. I still use my diaphragm. It's an interesting thing if you start singing young enough, and people get after your breathing, how it becomes just your way of breathing.
Yeah, like a natural thing.
Mhm.
And you don't need, like, they don't even think about it, but like, you're looking at it like, yeah, I'm utilizing extra ventricles and shit.
And it's interesting too because it affects speech.
Hey, that's a thing, right? Ventricles.
Though it's
Thank
a
you,
thing,
Sanguine.
but it's a very different thing than what you're trying to go for.
Thank you, Sanguine. That's. Thank you, Professor. He's
Yeah, the
like,
ventricles are the two larger portions of the heart that are further down. You have the
Oh yeah, the heart, not the
Yeah.
lungs.
atriums and then the ventricles.
Yeah. See, I was off of my anatomy, but
One should always sing with heart, however.
well, yeah, you need to do that too, because a passionate vocal expression is always very nice.
Adam, did you sing in school when you were growing up?
Who?
You?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, um, are we live?
Yes.
Yeah, we're live. I was just curious if you sang in school, if you ever took chorus or anything like that.
Yeah, no. Actually, here's a little fun fact. Actually, I performed in the Andrew Lloyd Webber's production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat with Donny Osmond back in
Really?
1993. Yeah,
1993. Really? Was that
93 and 95. The group that I was with, we got a second.
whoa?
Like we got a second shot at that thing. But yeah, for 2
How cool.
seasons. Yeah, it was fun.
Is that the
So-
one with the cat rectums?
No.
Oh, just sorry.
Yeah. We had some mice, but the cat wrecked them.
Damn near killed him.
I don't know about the cat rectum.
That's
but-
cats. They did this creepy movie thing of it, and in one version of it they had cat buttholes in it. Whatever.
Oh, like the live action one? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Little
I'm
cat-
just being an ass, Adam. Go on.
Little cat hiney hose. It was great. It was so. Why did they do that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
in case you've never met a cat, they defecate. Okay. Really? What a surprise. I thought they were earthworms or something. What?
So do people, and I don't need to see the people's assholes
I
in order to know it.
Really?
Hold on, wait. Earthworms don't defecate?
They do. They're just one giant digestive tract. They're lovely.
They're even more tube-like than
Than humans.
Humans.
Than cats. Well, cats are actually neuromasses on a stick with a digestive system that can work in either direction.
They're
Cat.
claw
That's
life
true.
support units.
Yeah.
Yeah. One idea at a time. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you.
Yeah, that's pretty
Not
much
a lot of nuance in the cat.
No, it's like pet
Really
me, pet
quickly,
me, pet me, bite
though,
me.
just to add a caveat, you want proof. I do have 2 signatures on the backstage of the Chicago Theater, and there is a picture of this area of the Chicago Theater, and the Chicago Theater's Twitter account has posted this image and even asked, whose signature's here? Yeah, dude, I'm there twice, because I was blue cast and orange cast. So, yeah, Butler and Baker.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really cool.
What an experience.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah.
experience. That's really neat. Did you do madrigals or that kind of singing?
Yeah. I did a lot of Renaissance type. Like, I don't want to say Renaissance because it's like a weirdo. That's a narrow type of time frame. But I did a lot of old
Yeah.
European type singing.
Yeah, it's that period. It's the period we associate the most strongly with the madrigal, style. Yeah, the oh geez, Monteverde, Orlando de Lasso. That I think he fits in that time period too. Yeah, I am familiar with some of the music because I did my singing in college. Primarily.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I sang in
Same.
junior high school and high school in the choruses, but as far as serious, like, buckle down.
I wore my tights and I sang some ancient Italian and fucking German songs and shit. Yeah. I'm there.
All I know of that is what I heard from Pasquale's kitchen.
Oh,
Oh, sole mio.
golly day.
So you know you made it.
Italian is
Hey, at
is
least you
so
didn't have to
much-
wear tights.
Italian is so much easier to sing in than German.
Oh, I love it. I honestly love it. I wouldn't mind going back and looking at some old songs to sing because
They're both easier than Pig Latin, though.
Yeah. and-
well, yeah, well, I mean,
You know what is not easy to sing in? It's French.
Yeah.
Because of how you have to. In
Why you
order
gotta
to
dog-
The zhuzhiness.
why you got a dog on French?
No. It's the It's how you overpronounce.
Like it's so
Well,
complicated on your tongue.
But
You have to. You just, you know what? You just
well,
gotta learn how to dance.
yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
You
Dancing in French is hard, too.
You
It
over,
is. You tend to
It is.
go backwards.
And Richard, oh,
Blowing
Oh.
kisses.
Hoi.
Yeah, you
That
over.
particular dance, they're only really
Shit, give up.
able to
Started
do
the same
well
word 10 times, and
when it comes to being with a German partner for that dance. That's the one thing that they need.
they keep trying to invade you. It's just.
Sora,
Yeah, they-
phrasing.
Step forward and invade your space, so again you retreat.
Yeah.
You know what's pretty easy to sing in Klingon?
yeah.
There aren't a lot of songs, for one
Yeah,
thing.
that's a love song.
It's a little bit like Vogon poetry.
Yeah.
The time of mating is upon us. Let me sing the song. Let me
Well, it's
sing
like
the mating
Swedish-
song.
Like Swedish death metal.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
I think the Klingons
Whoa.
would respect basically Northern European death metal.
Hold on, Klingon, Mongolian, fucking triple throat.
Oh Jesus,
Singing
those people!
bong dong.
Oh my God!
Yeah, dude.
I love the Who.
The
HU.
Who is amazing. Yeah.
That
Because
is-
they'll. Sorry, go ahead, Prospero.
it is amazing. That is not the only group of people that
No.
can do it, overtone singing, but they're the best known. That crowd out Tuva, but oh wow, that sound is so eerie.
And it works so well with, your standard guitar, drums, bass. It just, wow.
But it's
Just that weird humming, whistling noise.
it's a very
Yeah, now just imagine a bunch of these motherfuckers going over the steps,
yeah.
coming over near a fucking minute. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my God, that would be the you would think
Scourge of
demons
God
had-
is upon you.
yeah, the
You
demons
just
would-
hear that noise and fuck this, I'm out.
I surrender.
If you want to put, oh, wait a minute. You know what? Don't put that in because if you want to hear overtone singing, it is really interesting. Let me share my this is an interesting one to hear. It's very illustrative of overtone singing. If I can get to the stupid there, share the screen and share the damn audio and go to the Chrome tab and polyphonic singing and kaboom. All right, if you want to put that up there,
Oh yeah, I've heard this girl.
and I will start it.
Hello, I am Anna Maria, and I'm an overtone singer.
Could you turn it up a little bit, please?
You bet.
Electronic singing. Okay. Overtone singing is a voice technique where one person sings two notes at the same time.
Cool. Holy shit, is she a starling?
Of course, the overtone scale of fundamental.
That is just extraordinary.
Choose an overtone and move the fundamental.
Yeah, it's
So
just
I
it's
can
bizarre.
choose a fundamental and have the overtone scale, or I choose an overtone and have the undertone scale. If I want to sing a special melody and there are melody notes that don't fit to the overtone scale from one fundamental, then I need to find another fundamental to sing this note. And for that, there are often different possibilities, and I choose this fundamental that fits harmonically best with the melody line. And for polyphonic singing, there are different possibilities to move notes. So I can move the overtone with the fundamental in parallel. Or I can move the fundamental in back. Or in smaller. Or even smaller.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought you might like to hear that, and so
really an extraordinary gift.
it really is.
Yeah.
They have to start extremely young.
Yeah, how long do you think she has been doing it? Don't you figure she's probably been doing that since she was, what, 5 years old? 6 years old?
Under 10, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because in order to train the throat muscles to...
Well, you actually shape the
the throat
epiglottis.
The morphology of the throat is
Yeah.
shaped by the training that's done to be a polyphonic singer.
Right.
So it's really extraordinary because it's basically like what is it? Is it a nasal tone that's coming through as the
overtone.
overtone?
Yeah.
So you're projecting air through your
it's
head
astonishing.
and your chest at the
I
same
know.
time.
And here I am with my only talent of being able to listen through my nose.
Yeah. It's just very...
But I mean, not to downplay, because that was truly amazing. I've never heard anything like that before. So thank you, Skep. That was incredible to be exposed to that. But I was trying to make the sounds myself as we were listening. I muted myself. Isn't it so? Yes, there's the humming. Obviously my sound
like a
is a lot
drone,
deeper.
almost
But then she's
drone,
using the wind in the front of her mouth to create a whistling effect, or she's using her nose.
She's using, I mean, it's the larynx and the throat. It's I mean,
The mechanics of overtone singing are really complicated, probably beyond the scope of a stream to
Right.
accurately describe them. You basically have a couple of processes going on at the same time that take years to train to.
Yeah, the shortest answer to your question, functional, is yes.
Yeah, you need.
I'm gonna look into it more after.
Yeah. One of the things that we would need if we were going to even try to explain it on a stream would be the anatomical charts to show people what it is that is differently developed over the course of the training for this from anyone's average.
But even given the level of ability and training and singing that lady does, that is the song WAP by Cardi B is exactly the same talent level and takes exactly the same amount of talent and exhibits the same amount of musicality as that, because all music is equal.
Yeah.
Shaking your
Thank
butt is hard work.
This is what we are trying to explain.
See, the thing is that
Just wanted to get that out there.
It's the
You do have-
exact same thing.
you do have to give credit for wet ass pussy. You do need
That's a
far-
sentence I never thought I would hear anyone say.
You do need
Yeah, it's just
far
implied.
more productive mucosal membranes.
Please, Sanguine, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Anyway,
okay.
You may stop now.
Yeah. No, we don't need any mucus. We don't need any membranes in the stream. Thanks awfully.
Here's a beautiful sea god.
Yeah, I don't know how much of what you were sharing was talent and what amount of it was training. I think probably she would be the only one who could tell us that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know what? You
Because
try
it
and
seems
hump in those heels, sir.
But anyway, what were you saying, Harry?
no, I'm just really curious whether
One
this
clue-
was training or not.
A clue I think she probably gives you, and I'll bet Prospero picked up on this too. At the end, she did a perfect thirds scale, and I mean, she was. I've got a decent ear. I can hear when somebody's singing off key. I really can. And she hit those notes perfectly. So I know, I believe that tells me that she's got a good ear. At
At
least.
the very least, but still, I think there's a lot of training there.
Oh,
No, definitely.
I-
It's
I-
mostly, tons of
Yeah.
it.
It is training, but without, number one, without the physical capability of literally transmogrifying your throat morphology, which isn't going to be everybody. Not everyone's going to be able to do it. and then without an ear for tonality, so she can handle manipulating the fundamental and the overtone like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think she should be far less successful. She also may be one of these people, who has perfect pitch. So,
Well, you don't need perfect pitch to do that, but she very arguably, what I think she probably showed is she has perfect relative pitch.
yeah,
I mean, there's the difference between, I know you know the difference between the two.
yeah. I mean,
And, perfect pitch, you're talking about 50 people in the world. It's a mutation. It's you walk up to somebody and say, sing an A flat 2 octaves above middle C, and they can sing that. That's what perfect pitch is defined as. Perfect relative pitch means give you a note and you can sing any other note. Having just heard that one note.
and some people can hit A440. I mean, it's just you basically say A440, please, and that's what.
Right.
But they don't necessarily.
A rule of perfect pitch, the psychiatric rule of perfect pitch is many, many more people claim to have it than actually have it.
Mm-hmm.
I think half the guys in my fraternity house claimed to have it when I was going to school. So, depending on how much beer they had.
You could also say that Cardi B at the Grammys had the perfect pitch. One lady from there.
You think she has perfect pitch? You think she has perfect pitch? Is that what you said, Adam?
I think he meant a perfect pitch.
No, Fauci has the perfect pitch.
Oh, jeez.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, you remember that almost a year ago?
He throws like a girl.
That's insulting to girls.
Yes, it is.
15-day lockdown.
He throws like Rowan Atkinson.
2 weeks to flatten your loopy ball.
And now we're going a year plus.
Yeah, that's what somebody should have yelled at him when he tried to throw that ball. Which it'd take you 2 weeks to flatten that pitch.
Yeah.
See, what we don't know is that it's for every person that laughed at his pitch and every time that they laughed at his pitch. He's just been lengthening the lockdown period.
Oh, yeah, dude, that makes sense. That son of a bitch. He's like, oh, yeah? And you know what? You don't like my mask mandate? Well, hey, you could put a cloth mask in front of the mask. Yeah, dude, that's all making sense, dude.
Why not just tie the garbage bag over your head? There you
Might
go.
as well.
Plus, you'll be waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
And have a plastic fucking mask over it, too. Shit.
Yeah, I could be a human salad bar with 2 masks, and they'd wonder why ever did she collapse from hypoxia. No question at all. It's all perfectly fine. All of this is perfectly fine. The wind blew the president down. We're fine. That makes perfect sense. Thank you. Why? Why even say that?
Fine dog wags his tail.
You know what though? When I got X-rays done the past couple of days, the nurse was telling me that there really isn't really a lot of damage done from the radiation and the X-rays. So I really don't need to worry and have to wear the lead apron that she was putting on me. I was just like, all right, well, well, we still got to wear a mask, right? Because COVID.
Can I wear a mask over my vital organs? Will that help?
Well, hey, she was putting it around my crotch, so
Yeah.
look, that was
I am
important.
Spartacus.
That
That
means
was. Well, yeah. Well, wait, hold on, because I was like, well, won't it give me like mutant powers and shit?
No, it'll give your sperm mutant powers. You will get nothing.
Oh, oh. Oh.
You will get melanoma.
Yeah, your sperm.
And
however.
you'll like it.
My sperm comes
I'm
out like
getting
there's like
sperm.
Quicksilver and shit.
Superheroes.
I'm like, you
Melanoma.
fucking kids.
Oh
My skin's peeling off.
But look
That
at all these
sucks.
marvelous mutants I created.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, they better make me
I shall
money.
call them the X-Men.
No, they're gonna be the fucking what was the Brotherhood's name? Wait,
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
I want to say Brotherhood of Nod, but that's Command and Conquer.
Yeah, that's Command and Conquer.
But yeah, no, they'll be the bad kids because they'll be robbing people and shit, getting me money, sitting at home. I'm gonna be
To
sitting in
treat
a
your melanoma.
yeah, I'm gonna be sitting in a bathtub
God, I can't
with
believe
Jello and shit all around me, and I'll be like,
That's not Jello. That's lye.
well, whatever it is, just making me feel good. And then my kids are gonna go out there stealing money. Get me that money. And then they're coming back. Yes, we got that money, you papa. And I'm like, yes, sir.
You have your own army of Quicksilvers.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm more
You should
concerned
have
with
put
the
that
fact,
apron on, lady.
I'm more concerned with the fact that apparently his army of Quicksilvers are also all pickup step up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't get your Quicksilvers in the hood while looking at just, oh my god.
Well, I'm just happy I got little.
This is the quality content people tune in for, damn it. Oh,
I'm just happy
Where
I got
else-
little children of Quicksilvers. That means I found a lady to settle down with.
Where else do you get super sperm, melanoma, and then an army of Quicksilver pickup step ups?
I'm fantasizing while having your clavicle x-rayed, apparently. It's just,
I'll just adopt a Kryptonian thing.
It was the Nightingale thing, right? The nurse fell in love with me. She was like, you know what? I gotta settle him down. And I'm like, just pour more juice on the bathtub. And I got fucking.
You scare me sometimes.
Oh my
Adam.
god. Okay, you know what? This story went way up.
I was like, but we're enjoying the stream of consciousness. It's just, it's kind of, it's just like reading 100 Years of Solitude, except more entertaining. Magical realism everywhere you look. Actually, though, you know, if you think about it, I think there's an element to the United States press corps right now that actually qualifies as magical realism.
And sadly, they aren't coming up with anything half as entertaining as.
No, but you don't know what's real and what is not anymore. The way they manipulate the information, it's just pretty spectacular. I see Skep's using his bleach icon.
Yeah, I was reading about this thing from Science News talking about we still don't know for sure where the coronavirus came from. Here's why. Okay, genetic material from viruses and evidence of past infection offer clues, but questions remain. The narrative is really everywhere. You know, it says more than a year after the novel coronavirus had spread to all corners of the globe, officially becoming a pandemic, we still don't know where it came from. Many researchers agree the virus most likely came from nature, probably harbored in bats. Even so, conspiracy theories claiming that the virus came from a lab arose shortly after the first genetic blueprint for SARS-CoV-2 was unveiled in January 2020. Using that very genetic blueprint, multiple studies have refuted the lab-borne hypothesis and continue to point to bats as the original source of the virus. See, what they do is they don't address the idea that, yeah, it originally came from bats, was taken into the lab and modified.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they won't even look at that. They say, well, let's get a straw man that we can knock down and put that conspiracy stuff to bed so that everybody will understand that this is just, a big misunderstanding from our Chinese brothers.
Yeah, it's
We're not supposed to talk about that because it encourages violence against Asians.
it's kind of like how there's
Oh, I'm using forbidden words, aren't I? I'm so sorry. We're not supposed to say that word, are we?
Uh-oh.
Terrible.
The C
It's-
word.
it's kind of like how there's now apparently
We can say cunt all we want, but we can't say the C word.
there's apparently now a conspiracy theory about the true origin of SARS as well. So people are now trying to claim that SARS, which all the documentation, all the testing, everything that we can do in order to figure out where it originated in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And now people are trying to say, oh, it really originated in American pig farms.
Oh, that's the. But wait a. Okay. All right. The Spanish flu.
Yep, they're trying to make SARS have the same origin as the Spanish flu.
Oh, yeah, but we've been to that dance. Our dance card was filled. Our feet have gotten over the pain. That's long ago now.
But no. Now they're saying that the real origin of SARS was...
Do they have an existing case in the United States that predates the recognition of the...
Nope.
Okay, then bullshit.
Nope. And also, all the genetic testing
Yeah.
shows that the most similar infections when it comes to animals and the most likely zoonotic jumps are that it was primarily the palm civet strain of a coronavirus that then went from palm civets to bats, and then from bats either straight to humans or there's possibly another jump in there.
Like a snake jump.
Yeah,
So-
a snake
so-
or pangolin, something along those lines.
So from wild cats
Like
to
a snake
bats
jump.
to this is beginning to sound like Lobachevsky.
And
Drink, everybody. I mentioned Tom Lair.
everyone knows that when you're talking about native species to North America, the Asian palm civet, yeah, you can't walk down a single block without just hordes of Asian palm civets just flowing all over the place,
Oh,
right?
they're thick on the ground in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're just every Wichita
And
actually is a Native American word for palm civet.
Yeah, they're mighty good eating. We barbecue them down here.
And if you go to any pig farm, I mean, they hire palm civets in order to muck out everything. Everyone knows that they're constantly around pig farms, and that's their day shift crew is the Asian palm civet. Their
Where
night
do you think hearts of palm come from?
Yeah, their night shift crew are the bats. So
Somebody-
that's
Yeah, and the pangolins are the scabs that only step in when there is a strike by the civets or the bats.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is
this is a right to infect state, though.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it has reached that level of absurdity, hasn't it?
It is absurd. Anyway, getting back up to where I was kind of going with all this, the need to drive narrative, it has polluted the a lot of the lay press in science. You know, if it's something about the climate or earth science generally, you're going to get a message about climate change, and you will not get anything that differs from the accepted catechism, except expressed as some crackpots believe, like this article here. It said, now some conspiracy theories say it could have come from a lab, but those have been debunked.
No, they haven't.
That's nice. That's interesting. You know, and there's no footnote there. There's no reference. There's no example. There's no substantiation in any way, shape, manner, or form. It's just all reasonable all reasonable citizens accept this. The party has determined it to be true. I mean, that's the way that feels to me.
Yeah, it's gaslighting. And
It is.
it's
It absolutely
gaslighting.
is.
Because we know full well that there was a whole lot of scrambling around and hand wringing and carrying on. And if the WHO wasn't memory holding all their own shit, they'd admit to the fact that they were trying to get into China to take a look at the lab.
By the way, I'm glad to see we're funding the WHO again.
Yeah,
I signed that the other day.
yeah, that helps. That helps a lot. This makes me feel so much better.
And
It's a different set of scoundrels getting our money.
Yeah.
for all the people that were
Probably making campaign donations to the DNC.
saying that no one in the world took us seriously when Trump was president, they should be happy to know that after commenting about Russia, or after Biden commented about Russia, Putin decided, you want to debate me about it?
He
Come
also
on.
he also
Unscripted debate, no prompters, no
yeah.
note cards, nothing like that. Just you and me, time debate. Let's go.
Yeah,
So pick a fight.
well, the bidet administration just decided that the
The bidet administration.
that's it. Well, the maggots,
Yeah.
they called Trump apologists maggots.
Blow water up your ass.
So, so Biden apologists are now bidets.
Yeah. How this is an interesting thing with as it becomes more and more obvious with Joe showing motor degeneracy, talking about the President Harris administration and just making obvious slips. At some point, the crew is going to get together and say it's time for President Harris to take over. And I'm just wondering if one of the triggers will be they'll wait 2 years and 1 day, essentially, so that they can, with the idea of making her president for 10 years, because then she could serve out the remaining 2 years of his term, be elected in her own right for 4 years, and then be reelected again. We could have President Harris for 10 years, and if she's a pliable, good puppet, and Willie will tell you she's a pliable puppet, I think she'll play her part correctly, and we really could have her for 10 years. I don't think the Republicans can win another election without having just an extreme majority, and I mean like 90% of the electorate on their side against the Democrats, because the Democrats simply have control of the electoral machinery, and it isn't who has the votes, it's who counts the votes. And they have no compunction about dialing up as many votes as they need. They don't care who actually voted how.
Yeah, I know.
As long as they win, the greater good is served, and they are such true believers. I mean, these are people who are straight out of Rules for Radicals. They'll do whatever it takes to take the elections that they need to continue to control the money flow out of the United States.
Well, the funny thing is, though, those same individuals are very, very busy checking the validation of all the signatures in the Newsom recall without the least sense of irony.
Yeah, absolutely, and
Without the
throwing
least
out
sense.
as many as they can on the smallest pretext. You know,
I mean, I knew it was coming. I said so on Twitter that they would be assiduous with this.
Oh yeah.
While maintaining the voter ID and all those other things and election integrity, otherwise was perfectly fine. But, I mean, if you come up with all these people who don't exist, it's just what? I mean, honest to God.
And the people that don't live at that address, the name is actually a valid name, But they don't live at that address because it turns out that that's a section of median under an overpass. And then there's a change in the address, and then that address is checked out, and yep, still don't live there.
Yeah.
All kinds of interesting things going on when it comes to that, right?
A whole lot of
They're
things
going-
could have
they're-
happened.
They're going to meet their threshold on signatures for the Newsom recall. I don't care how much they try to throw this stuff out. And, I mean, part of their issue, it's one of the reasons that Newsom was talking to Joy Behar the other day, talking about it was just all some kind of radical alt-right conspiracy against him, is I'm sure their internal polling has turned up what some other people who have been digging through the petition signatures have turned up. In LA County, it was 35% of the people who had signed for the recall, 35% of them were Democrats. That's not a good sign.
That's
for
a
old
difficult
Gab.
way to explain it, you know?
Yeah, so of course he had to go out there and say it was really the alt-right doing this. Don't look at what the actual numbers are when people drill down into them. It was just what it's what I'm telling you it is. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised in California if there are alt-right people registered as Democrats because they just don't want to get fired.
Yeah, well, that's possible. But do you think
Yeah.
35% of the signatures coming out of LA County on this?
Yeah,
are
I
all
think
alt-right?
California is a special case. I wouldn't make too much of 35% of them being Democrats.
Pretty special, boss.
Yeah.
I
But
would
again,
say
the key question is who would end up replacing him? Because the last time we had a special election, it was pretty darn special. We had a porn star, that short black guy. I can't remember which one it was. Was it Gary Coleman? Gary Coleman. We had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
get out of here for real.
Yeah, seriously. Who else
He
was-
won. He won.
did.
Gary Coleman won?
No,
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The
Arnold-
Now Arnold is retired, and him and
Conan
his,
the Republican.
his miniature donkey and his miniature horse run around and go in his kitchen. And,
Doggy is so cute.
yeah, Whiskey and Lulu. But yeah, this could be one of the most amazing shit shows ever. A special election in the current year. Oh my god.
Wow.
Well, it entertained me.
Well, as long as everybody wears their mask, we should be good.
Yep. Don't worry about those X-rays on your personal parts. Just wear that mask.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
No, can I disclose a little tidbit? When they took the X-ray, the fucking wait, did I
What?
I didn't tell this story yet, did I?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I don't want to repeat, but holy shit, yeah, no, they fucking I had to take a X-ray just to get like under the armpit, and so they stretched out my arm on the table, and holy fuck, just to stretch it out and hold it, I was crying.
Yeah.
I was crying, and it was so bad. The fucking nurse is sitting there like, "You're so brave. You're so brave. You're doing an amazing job." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, come on. I'm like, I'm a fucking 36-year-old dude, man. I don't need to be hearing this shit.
Did you get a lollipop when it was done?
Yeah, that's what I was like,
I take one anyway.
Ask,
Seriously.
ask for the morphine flavored ones.
No, dude, if I go to the doctor and they've got like the little bowl of candy, I'm taking one.
No, actually, I told the doctor the pain medicine that they put me on, and apparently it's part of the opioid crisis.
Mhm.
So he was like, "Yeah, you should probably stop taking those pills." And it's been a process because they did work. Let's just say that they did work.
That's the thing about those meds. Yeah, they have addictive qualities, but they fucking work. And when you're dealing with pain, there's a lot of things that are considered pain meds that aren't actually pain meds, but they're able to be marketed as such. Like, you'll occasionally hear people say that Tylenol and aspirin and Advil are pain meds. No, they aren't. They're anti-inflammatories. They're able to market themselves as pain meds because a fair bit of pain is caused by inflammation.
Right.
But
it's a follow-on effect. Sanguine's exactly right. And whereas opioids actually act as what they call adrenergic antagonists, where they actually diminish the response of some of the nerves, a part of your nervous system, a section of your nervous system called the adrenergic nervous system, which is responsible for conveying pain back out of your to your brain from your central nervous system. Essentially, it interrupts some of that signaling, and nothing else does this the way that opiates do it. Exactly the way that opiates do it, and opiates are just damn good at it.
Yeah, and there's other things that can do a blunting of the pain as well, but they do it by an entirely different process. Like nerve blocks are another one.
Those are peripheral nervous system. They're not central nervous system acting. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And there are also pills you can take that act on the PNS, the peripheral nervous system, that are not central nervous. But the man, if you want to get it done, you jump straight to the central nervous system and do a CNS, the adrenergic antagonist, like an opiate, and that's it. So, there's just nothing as good, period.
There's nothing that is as good as that. There's other methods that are currently being experimented with, like one of the ones that I find the most interesting that's being experimented with is the
Don't say tens. Don't say tens.
No, not tens.
I'll kill you.
The microdilution of TTX.
Oh.
So it is an absolutely ridiculously small dose. I'm talking like 2 parts per several million, if that, of TTX in solution injected into...
You better explain what TTX is.
TTX is a neurotoxin. I'm not going to give the full name. You guys don't need the full name because no one else will pronounce it.
Just keep going.
It's the neurotoxin that's found in fugu, Japanese pufferfish.
Right.
So fugu. In very small doses, this will kill you stone dead.
Yeah.
In remarkable time. If they dilute it out to this ridiculous degree, they've been able to find fairly strong indication that this does completely deaden out the sense of pain coming from an area. So effectively, it's a nerve block that targets pain receptors, and it is administered to the central nervous system rather than the peripheral.
But you cannot get a prescription for that. That doesn't help Adam's problem right now.
Not currently.
But what you could do, I mean, I know this is less effective than the gold standard here, but it's only Schedule 4, and it's a lot less addictive, and you can actually, at least for me, I can actually function on this and get pain relief, is something more like Tramadol, which is sort of a synthetic version of an opioid, but it isn't nearly as addictive.
There are, I promise this will be almost painless. Opiates act on, is it 4 or 5 receptor sites? Sanguine, I think it's 5. I think it's 5. Tramadol acts on 2 of them.
Yeah,
and
it does help.
And it has very little addictive aspects to it. It is simply physically less effective. It has to be. because
but fewer side effects.
but it has much fewer side effects because those other receptor sites also have other purposes. Your body uses them for other purposes, and that's the genesis of side effects. Exactly right.
Yeah.
So tramadol will give you
Never
some
genesis.
relief, and it just depends on the type of pain that you have. If you have pain that's caused by inflammation, usually tramadol will rarely be better than ibuprofen because tramadol does not act as an anti-inflammatory.
Well, you
I
can
have
take a separate anti.
Yeah, and tramadol,
would.
right? Exactly, is typically prescribed with
Hold on.
ibuprofen.
Can I ask a question? This is a genuine question because like up till now, I had like a lot of goofball jokes that I was like trying to interject.
Sure.
Not to say that I don't take you guys seriously, and or that, yeah, no,
So, what is your serious
my
question?
shoulder is in pain, but inflammatory. Does that mean like okay? So like normally, if my if I just hang out and just act normally, it doesn't really like have a lot of pain. But like yesterday and then earlier today, I tried doing like what would you call like the ultimate warrior stance where he like lifts his hands above his shoulder.
Uh huh.
And I couldn't do it. My right arm just was not. It didn't want to go up, and it hurt a lot. And there was pain that stayed afterwards.
It didn't go away when you quit doing the thing that caused it to start.
Yeah. So would that be considered inflammatory pain, or is that because again,
it's hard to say. I can't diagnose something like that. I mean, you really do need to take that up with your.
well,
your
no.
doctor.
I mean, I'm scheduled to go to physical therapy. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get it out of the way to try and like my stupid self is. I want to get it over with.
So
Don't
So,
blame
in
I had
the-
a question, if I may. So they took you off the pain meds. Is that what they did, Adam?
well, he suggested that I
How
stop
long have you
taking
been on them?
just like a week.
Okay, that's interesting.
Are you taking Vicodin or are you taking OxyContin?
Neither.
Hydrocodone?
Percocet?
Oxycodone?
Nope.
Hydromorphine?
Like
Oxymorphone?
it
Are they
started
called
with an M.
Norcos?
an N?
or something like that?
Norco,
Norco.
yes.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
that's
Norco.
like the,
That's Vicodin.
yeah, that's
Vicodin. It's 10
yeah.
milligrams. And
Well, it comes in a
with
5
acetaminophen. Yeah. But usually the Norco, when they say Norco, they're usually talking about the 10 milligram dose with
Yeah.
325 of acetaminophen.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah, and
not that addictive. You take it for a week, you won't have any problem kicking out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The doctor told me to take them until the pain subsides. 2 a day, and I'm not really, I haven't really taken them a lot because I just, I'm not really. I'd much rather endure the pain.
Yeah.
Yes, so to speak. So like even like right now, I'm just like, even when I was talking to the arm doctor, when he was like, "Can you move your arm like this?" and I'm like, "Dude, I don't know if it's pain or if I'm just eating the fucking pain and telling you that I feel okay." Like it's. I just want to go. I just want to go back to work. I want to go back to normal. Dude, but that's what I want. Don't fucking care about it. Care if I grow a fucking fourth arm.
So, like Skep said earlier, it'd be difficult to give you any specific information without being a doc and being able to examine you.
Yeah, it could be nerve pain. It could be
Yeah.
inflammation pain.
Both
And
those
we
criteria
don't want to
would
say anything to you that might mislead you and have you do something that would hurt
No, well,
yourself.
no, I have
Yes.
a fractured.
The only thing that I would really feel safe saying about this is you guys have all heard my rant about people going off medicine before they should when it comes to antibiotics. When it comes to pain meds like this, it's an entirely different rule set. So when you're dealing with pain meds due to an injury, the way that is more sensible to go about it is if the doc says that you should be on it in order to deal with the pain, once the pain subsides or begins to subside, go off. Then once the quality of the pain decreases, go off. But if you're not at any sort of step down from the pain, and you've said that you've only been on it for a week, not saying take it every 4 hours, but take it as
Prescribed.
it's prescribed and as needed as it's prescribed. Because you might find that, for instance, when I had my shoulder surgery, I wouldn't take pain med during the day, but then during the night, 1 pill a night for about a week. I would take that pill. It would help me sleep through the night without any issues, and then I'd be able to deal with it during the day, no problem.
I think what Sanguine is saying is take them as prescribed, stay in contact with your doctor, and do exactly what he says. And I think that's great advice.
Yep, and once you notice the
You can't be true.
quality of pain change, let your doctor know immediately.
Yeah, like the pain has subsided a good bit, and I mean, it's like I didn't take the dose immediately because every time I've been on pain medication, that's how I test it.
But
After
I test it by grinding it up and snorting it, but that's me.
I'm looking at it more like I'm sitting there, and once my shoulder hurts, I can look at the mirror and be like, yeah, and I don't need the medication. There you go. My fucking healing factor is working overtime.
Well, that's good. I mean, it may be a different story when you start the PT.
Oh yeah, PT will.
Just saying, it'll depend though because they may.
Yeah, no, that's true because I did. Yeah.
You just may find that icing after the PT takes care of it. You never know. You never know because I mean I was long off the pain med when they sent me to PT for my knee, so ice was all I had, and I loved the ice. Ice was like the face of God. It was like, oh, thank you, ice.
And again, just to re-stress the point, if there's any change in the quality of your pain, and what I mean by that is it going up, it going down, it going from pressure to sharp, anything like that, let the doc know immediately.
Hold on, wait. Can I get a robot arm?
Not yet. Give it time.
Not yet.
That you'll be able to get those about the time they have the flying cars, which I have been waiting for now since 1958.
No, the robot arms are coming well before flying cars, because
Probably.
do you really want people that drive in New Jersey to be able to fly?
I don't care what happens in New Jersey. I think that should be a Darwinistic hellhole, and only the strong will survive.
It would be hilarious.
It pretty much already is,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not quite as bad as Baltimore, but close.
Sales of A-rated fireproof roofs go through the ceiling.
Yeah, that's the other. That's the other thing.
Oh.
Have to carry a car crash rider on your homeowners.
And 80 millimeter flat guns also. Anti-aircraft is a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like I can't wait for the Amazon drones. That's gonna be interesting.
The reason that those won't last, I promise you, is people simply will shoot them out of the sky.
Well, that's what I meant. It's gonna.
and that will be hilarious.
It'll be. It's like, is it pheasant season? No, it's Amazon season.
Well, the thing is, you get to keep the stuff that you shoot too. So whatever being delivered, it's now delivered to you.
That's the law.
Yeah,
That's,
the
that's the
modern-
law, right?
First 2 weeks in September, no bag limit.
Sky salvage.
modern day take on highwaymen and the old school wreckers and salvagers.
Yeah, well, and it also privateers.
Yep.
It'd be a lot of fun. You could always wave when the cops show up at your house your letters of marque.
A letter of marque, right? Exactly.
But I have a letter of marque.
Not for this ocean.
This is from Federal Express. Get it? Just, that would be interesting.
I got you.
Have Federal Express put out letters of marque on Amazon packages.
This is the USPS letter of marque.
I wonder if the executives would be marrying their daughters to executives over at Amazon. The modern day merchant princes.
They would.
We could be like 17th century Italy. It'd be great.
I was thinking more Northern Europe with the Hanseatic Drone League.
Yeah. Well, same idea.
See, I was just thinking, would we have more or less poisoning?
I was going to say the Hanseatic League was a little less crime-ridden than the Italian cities.
The idea is the De Medicis, yeah.
Yeah, like the Sforzas were clean, or the Destis. They were all kind of.
At least the gondolas ran on time.
Well, speaking of crime and packages, I watched a video. I've been watching a series of videos over the years about these scammers from India that hello, welcome to the Department of Windows, or we're going to throw you in jail if you don't pay the IRS by sending me a bunch of cash cards from Best Buy. Those guys. The way in which they actually collect the packages from you when they say take $12,000 and put it in a box and send it to us.
Right.
That's actually kind of interesting. So they've been trying to track these guys down. And so what they do is they get just sort of hapless idiots to go and collect the packages. So one of the scams they've been doing lately is they will use an address of an Airbnb as the delivery point, and then just have one of their flunkies stand around outside, and then when the truck comes to deliver, they sort of jump in front of it and go, oh yeah, that's my package, from the front porch.
Right.
And then they immediately take it to like a supervisor. And then the supervisor works with one or more of the scammers back in India. So the supervisor gets a 10% cut. The flunky gets, a little taste. But the supervisor gets like a 10% cut. And, so the guy with the squirrel obstacle course, the one who makes the drones that do the glitter bombing,
right?
With the fart spray and stuff.
Porch pirate glitter bomb, yeah.
So he's been working with some of these guys who privately have been trying to track these guys down, the supervisors in the States. And they were able to stop a few deliveries and then put their own package in place of it. So these guys were going inside the house thinking they were going to get whatever, or in the back of their car, only to have, the glitter bomb go off with the cameras and this thing. And
nice.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun to, replace it with, an M80 with a shell of potassium cyanide.
Yes.
Just saying.
Well, some of these guys who are going after these guys are really pretty good. There's one guy who's been has basically been tracing the IP back to the hackers when they log into like a honeypot fake computer.
Yes.
And has even in a couple occasions hacked into their security cameras, so you can see pictures of the Indian scam center.
Oh yes, I watched what's his name, Kip Boda.
Oh, Kit, yeah, he's very good at winding those guys up, but he's not the guy with the video of the.
No, in fact, I was just about to get the porch pirate guy. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. I don't know why. Porch pirate, red glitter,
Porch pirate.
Fart spray. That's the guy.
Yeah.
And it's
He's a dude.
Yeah, it's
Because honestly, fart spray is way too good for these people. I think it's not a controversial thing to say that Minions of the Zoo does not approve of
No.
scammers who take away chunks of the life savings of older
Oh,
people.
Mark
Jeez.
Rober. Mark Rober is his name.
Do we need to cast dispel magic on this shit? Come on, man, get out of here.
And I'll put the Who is Mark Rober link in chat so you
Yeah,
can
his
find
most
out.
recent video was the one that I was talking about last night. That's got some great stuff in it.
I need to check that out. I haven't looked at his channel in a while. There it is right there. That's the YouTube for Mark Rober. That's the Who is Mark Rober, and you can find his channel and his latest videos there. And he's got some great stuff where he crafts a porch pirate package that has a glitter bomb and has fart spray in it and all kinds of nasties for these people who come and just rob people's packages off their porches. God, that it's such a rotten thing to do. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
those-
I worry about his safety. When you start going after people where there's that much money involved,
oh yeah,
there are people in this world who would pay people to cause bad things to happen.
that's absolutely right. No, he's taking a
I
chance.
think
being
some
as
people get
public
a
as he
little
is.
too comfortable.
Yeah.
He should just be keep his head on a swivel. Is all I'm saying.
Yep, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
But we need more of this. We need more of IT people 3D printing fart bombs and making the lives of
3D
these
printing
scammers
fart
More
difficult.
fart bombs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am pro fart bomb against scammers.
I had I received a bill for $1,000 from a credit card company that I had no dealings with, credit agency. And it turned out somebody had ordered a phone using
Your social.
my address. They'd used my address and a fake email account.
Wow.
And it's a commonplace thing when I spoke to the guy at the credit card company and to the person at Lifeline. They said this is a common a common thing where what they'll do is they'll make up a fake email, use your name and address, apply for the credit, order the phone, which is what it was, and then wait to make sure you've left the house and nail the delivery, because they're getting all the communication as to when the package will be delivered, and they'll be there to sign for it.
Mm.
They'll sign your name, and then they'll leave. And that's apparently it's very common to do with phones.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely lovely. And I was like, well, I have never owned an Android phone. Ever. And you can check with Verizon, if you want. And I mean, purportedly, I'm supposed to file a police report and all this exciting thing. And I'm like, why don't you prove that I received the phone before you try to dun my credit? Because...
Well, you've done my credit, and you'll be speaking to my attorney.
Yeah, you don't have any proof that I received the thing.
Yeah, you can make me rich.
You have a dummy email account. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Quit extending $1,000 credit to people without verifying the email account.
Yeah, no, your obligation goes as far as, no, that's not me. You have the wrong person. That's the end of your obligation, Prospero.
Yeah.
Everything else is on them to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I didn't hear back from them. They marked it disputed. LifeLock marked it disputed. But the guy was like, well, you're going to need to fill this stuff out and get this stuff to me. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the whole
He's a guy operating on a script. He says the same thing to everybody.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, no. You credit report against me and I'll see you into oblivion. Just because I have the spare fucking time.
They won't bother to make a credit report on somebody for, less than a couple $1,000.
So Prospero, was this person who called you does not work for Verizon? He was just some debt collector, right?
Yep.
So this person defaulted on it, and somebody bought the debt, and now you just have some idiot with a script.
Well, this was the guy in the debt collection department of the credit agency.
Yeah.
For the phone company.
But he's not a Verizon employee.
Oh no.
Which means that it's some idiot who bought.
It's a factored receivable, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I mean, but see, I could ask Verizon for the data proving what kind of phone I have because we've gotten them from them, and that I've had that phone number longer than you've had your phone number, Harry.
Oh yeah.
It's by a year. I've had it since 1991.
Mm-hmm.
When I had one of those in-car case phones that you plugged into the cigarette lighter adapter.
In-car case phones, yes. Car phones, man. Those were...
Yeah.
I can...
It's my first mobile.
A quick phone story. I remember when I was a stockbroker, in fact, this is about, I'm going to say 1980, maybe the summer of 1980 or fall of 1980. And my biggest client was this oncologist. He swung a lot of money around. He had married one of the heirs to the Simon and Schuster publishing fortune. Used to go to parties with Carly Simon and all that sort of thing. Anyway, yeah, he was a big shot. But he calls me. He says, Frankie. He used to call me, Frankie, guess where I'm calling you from? I said, where are you calling from? I'm in transit. I'm on the freeway. And I said, you're calling me from the freeway? And he said, yeah, I got a phone. I got a phone in my car. It was breaking up. It was horrible. I could barely understand him. But he was calling me from a phone in his car, and he drove over to the office to show me, basically show me his new penis. I mean, his new car phone. And it was just an exceptional piece of engineering. It was actually permanently installed into the vehicle. I mean, this is like
mine was
a landline in the vehicle that's permanently installed. You can't remove any part of this.
Yeah, mine was fully mobile. It was in one of those cases.
Harry, it had RJ7 connectors.
RJ7?
Yes, it had RJ7 connectors.
I've had RJ11, RJ45. I'm not even sure I've seen an RJ7.
RJ7 is a small, tiny. It looks just like an RJ11, but it's slightly smaller.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I unplugged it, and he said, "Yeah, that's the only part that comes off. It's the cord part." And it would unplug and plug back in, and I realized later on that was when I joined the telecom industry that was actually an RJ7. And that's the only time I've ever seen. And I worked for Lucent Technologies. It's the only time I ever saw an RJ7 used in anger.
Well, you're a BNC man.
Oh yeah, like you read about.
Yeah, but no. Before God, I promise this will be short. Before the car phones we're talking about, people did have radio telephones, and a radio telephone was a very different creature. It was sort of a traditional radio transceiver.
Right.
It connected to an exchange, and then they would essentially patch you by with one of those big banana connector things,
right,
to a phone line where it would dial out. In fact, ham radio people as well would have things set up so that essentially they would have analog phone lines that would go to like a repeater.
Absolutely.
And there were tones that you could use to control and dial from a ham radio set to a phone. Now, being a ham thing, you're not allowed to use it for commercial purposes, but people were doing well. You could use other things for that, but
Yes.
other mobile radio things. But the amount of spectrum that was allocated for that was fairly limited. It was not anything that was ever going to become what we have today with cell phones, and it's only because the cell phones make such good use of the bandwidth that's allocated for them that everybody can basically have one. You couldn't
Beauty of digital communication.
You couldn't take care of 1% of the population with the old radio telephones.
No, that's absolutely right. There literally is not enough spectrum.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that Cree got this for me. I mean, Cree, my mother was fussing because I didn't have any way of communicating when the weather was bad and that kind of thing. You know, like, I'm in a ditch. Could you please come tow me out to AAA, that kind of thing. And since the technology was there, I ended up with this mobile sack that I could actually just, you know, carry around with me if I wanted to. It was like the two piece VCR, if you remember those, you know, the recording unit and the playback unit.
Absolutely.
From the early 80s. It's like, whoa, this is the cutting edge of technology. And
carry two small manual typewriters.
Yeah, I knew we'd arrived when a friend of mine gave me a call and did the whole "Can you guess where I am?" thing, and it was like, where are you? I'm standing next to an active volcano. I'm like, okay, it's official. There's no longer any reason to play the "Can you guess where I'm calling you from?" game.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Yeah.
The end.
Beautiful.
And Skep, I didn't want to interrupt your story, but when you said and he showed me his penis, I mean new technological toy. The thing that popped into my head immediately after was much larger, but just as funny looking.
Yeah. No, he
dude,
was,
do you have a princess dial dick?
this guy was really compensating everything about, you know, this guy. He was probably 5'2" in heels. He's a short guy. And enormously fat. He's probably 5'2", probably weighed about 350 pounds.
So 5 by 5?
That's a lot of weight. Yeah, the man who was 5 by 5.
So damn near a foot shorter than me, and
5 by 5 by 5.
Yeah,
over 50 pounds heavier.
He was just huge. I mean, he didn't even look like a normal human being. He looked like those silly fat acceptance pictures that I tweet out every once in a while. A guy,
Nice.
And you know, I'm. Everything he did, you know, but by God, he'd gone to medical school and he, by God, had a medical degree, and you better not forget it, you know. And
So he became what he treated, in other words.
Yeah, pretty much. Eventually, he lost his license for a while. He was not a great oncologist. He was an evil oncologist. He used to blackmail his patients, saying that he was going to withhold treatment if they didn't pay him extra money. He lost his license for that for a few years, but eventually got it back. He still is practicing oncology, believe it or not, in Arlington, Texas.
Belongs in prison.
Yeah, he absolutely does. This is not a guy you want to deal with.
Yeah.
So
I went in with
more
a
than
sprained
twice
ankle.
as
Doctor
large.
gave me propofol.
He's still out
Right,
there.
exactly.
You can still hear the call of the wild.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that's that dude.
Yeah.
I should have.
Touching people funny. That's not good.
It never occurred to me when I was in Volcano National Park to call my mother and tell her I was standing over a sulfur vent. I probably should have. That would have flipped her shit, though. That would have been.
This was
mean.
the big island that I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Volcano National Park.
Oh, is that what it's?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only active volcano that I've ever climbed and gone into the caldera was Vesuvius. But that was pretty cool.
Wait, Mount Vesuvius?
Mount Vesuvius,
Wow.
overlooking Herculaneum and Pompeii.
Very nice, sir. Very nice.
Pretty cool. The neat thing was you could slide your hands under the top layer of pumice, and you felt geothermal heat. and it was really interesting because it was kind of cool up on top of the mountain. But if you lay on the ground, and I was an 11-year-old kid, so we'd lie on the ground, and it was just felt so nice and warm, just all nice and warm and toasty. It was really an interesting experience. They have a trail. It's just a walk. It's not a climb. It's not climbing a mountain at all. It's just a walk up the trail. My mother complained the entire time how long it was, but kids, man, we had a ball. It was wonderful.
Yeah. The adults are like, why are we doing this? The kids are like, because it is.
Oh no,
cool.
my dad was a big kid about this kind of stuff. He loved it. Mom was like, do we really have to do this?
Yeah, my mother would have just stayed with the car.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
She would have looked at my dad and said, you two just really, I don't want to go inside an active volcano, and I don't understand why on earth the two of you would want to do something like that. But fine, just go ahead. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll be back.
That was the same trip that we got to climb all the steps and go to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa at 2 minutes till 11 o'clock before the giant bells that are 10 feet over your head. And I mean, these bells are huge. They are the size of a panel truck. Start to go clang, 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 and there are no railings. They had 3 kids they had to control, and I mean, if you just walk to the edge, you're gone. Mm-hmm. It's 20 stories. See you bye. And the thing is leaning, and you really feel the lean up there. So yeah, that was kind of cool when those bells started to ring. I thought it was excellent. My mother just about jumped out of her skin.
Yeah, I could never picture my mother in that environment. I would have thought it was cool then. I wouldn't do it now.
Well, I don't think they'll let you go up.
No, they don't let you go up anymore. No, I just.
Oh yeah.
It's like climbing a whole bunch of stairs to go, oh, look at the pretty view. It's like, that's what God made elevators.
Yeah, no kidding. The interesting thing is it's a stairwell that winds around almost. It's not the outside, but it's toward the outside of it, and it goes up in a big spiral, basically.
Yeah, like a lighthouse.
And as you go from side to side, you're basically going from side to side as a result of going up the spiral. Okay, and there's wear on the stone from centuries of people going up and down the steps. Mm-hmm. And so you see the wear pattern start on the left, and then as you go up, it drifts over to the right side of the stair, and that's where it's worn. And then as you go around the other side, the wear pattern goes back over to the left and the right, and the left and the right as it circles the tower on its way to the top. It's something I'll never forget.
Everybody goes up those kinds of stairs the same way.
Yeah.
Basically, and
you just tend to go with the lean, and the lean makes you tend to go to one side, and that's what you do. And it's the side where you lean, not toward the inside of the tower. When you lean away, and you realize that if you just keep going, because they have all these like basically portals, these arch-shaped portals. And there's no rail or anything. You can walk right off the tower. And you're a little kid, and you kind of go, I'm a little kid. I could jump off the tower. Bad idea.
Yeah.
But you're thinking about it.
Yeah, this isn't quite like jumping off the jungle gym.
Yeah, it's a very popular suicide place.
I would imagine.
When we were kids.
Accidental as well as intentional.
Probably some postnatal abortions too.
Yeah, there's probably been a, hey honey, look over there. Oh my God, I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, we're heartbroken, and we're going on vacation.
Yeah. So. I've never done an extended circular staircase climb. I don't care for them particularly. It kind of. It's weird because I live in a house that has a curved staircase, but it's the narrower tread on the inside that gets on your nerves. But Cree climbed one of the lighthouses down at the Outer Banks, the Kerala Light. He said the view was quite lovely. He said, and he's climbed Body Island, I think. But he said, after that, it's like, okay, I went up a whole bunch of stairs to go, isn't this pretty? Okay, I could have pretty much imagined the view from here. It's not, well, they'd let you climb Hatteras again, but they had the staircase. It was well after they moved it and did the restoration.
Is Hatteras open to the public?
The lighthouse? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they reopened it. They repaired the staircase after it came loose when that guy fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister was talking about that. Interesting.
Yeah, the move of that was just extraordinary. Moving that lighthouse,
Yeah.
the way they did it was absolutely extraordinary. I'm so sorry we weren't able to get down and see that, because I mean I knew several people that went down for the day, got a penny flattened on the rails, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. I mean, I'm accustomed to it now, but the first time going onto Hatteras Island after they moved the lighthouse, it's like, whoa, where's the lighthouse? Because it was a significant enough move that as an object from the road, you can no longer see it the same way.
By the way, if you guys want to know what we're talking about, that's the link in chat. That's the video on moving the Hatteras Lighthouse. It's a very interesting video, worth checking out.
Yeah, they hoisted that son of a bitch up and moved it on rails. At a good distance. But it was perilously close to being taken by the sea. And they had spent hundreds of thousands of dollars already trying to keep the sea from reclaiming that land.
Yeah.
They were sandbagging it for ages. When moving it, the expense of moving it was less than all the money that they had spent on the sandbaggings and trying to keep the sand around the thing. It was just one of those things like, why were you so
Had to learn the hard way.
resistant? Yeah.
The ocean is going to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ocean always wins.
Well, the rule 1, the ocean always wins.
That was it. I mean,
Rule 2, see rule 1.
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Yeah. Go ahead, turn your back on the ocean. It'll make for a much better photo.
Yeah, Jenna asked in chat if I'd ever climbed Bunker Hill. No. Nope. Never climbed Bunker Hill.
Mm-hmm.
I've driven past Bunker Hill, but I've never gone to any. Isn't that the way though? When you live near something for an extended period of time, you're going to get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
I visited the Constitution in 2001 is when Korea and I went. I lived up there for 10 solid years and never set foot on the Constitution.
Isn't that interesting? You can live in a place. I was kind of that way. I lived in Colorado Springs. If I hadn't been in Boy Scouts and had spent 2 days climbing Pikes Peak, I never would have gone to the top. We never went to the top of Pikes Peak, and we lived a 20-minute drive away from it. You know, it would have been nothing. And when I lived in Washington, D.C., that was another thing. My parents never would have gone to any interesting place. Fortunately, I was, was in high school then, and by junior year, I could drive. And, I started driving downtown and got to go to all these cool places. But it's a tendency, I think, when people live someplace to kind of take things for granted, and you don't go to see things that are right there.
Mm-hmm.
And are amazing.
There's still things in Virginia that we haven't done that we've talked about doing. Mr. Yes, no, I did not explore the Chesapeake Bay for marine animals as a kid because I did not grow up anywhere near the Chesapeake Bay. I lived in Florida.
Most of the marine animals are down at Little Creek anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, You get that. Yeah,
the
white.
the other marine animals are up in Quantico,
Yeah, Quantico too.
and so they're on the Potomac. No, I lived in Massachusetts and Florida. I did not live in Virginia then. And marine animals is not like, that's never been a source of fascination for me. It's kind of peculiar. Tidal pools were for splashing in when I was a kid in Florida. They were awesome because they were all, the water was comfortable, and you could plop a toddler in one of them. People did.
Yeah.
Lots of little kids in the tidal pools that would form. The coolest thing about the Florida beaches,
Toddler pools.
they weren't crowded like they are now. And I mean, honest to God, when the ice cream man drives down the beach, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But man, Daytona is just a different world now. Totally different world. I've been on a dolphin boat thing, but just that's a different story. And we actually got a show off. We got a dolphin that was very interested in entertaining everybody on the boat, doing the on the back flipper, skimming out in front of the boat, and look at me jump, and it was just like, what a whore. You'd almost think it was a trained mammal. Almost.
Attention whore like
Yeah, it was great.
Dr.
though.
Fauci.
It was great because it was in August, and that's not a normal time for dolphins to be doing that kind of playful stuff. The water's a little warm, it's hot and still, and bleh.
No, the worst things that dolphins do are rape and occasionally kill a pufferfish.
We used to watch them play in the bow wave at sea, especially when you just would get up a little, put a few turns on, and the bow wave is pretty energetic of a 400-foot tanker that's loaded with 7 million gallons of Navy distillate oil. It puts a sizable shockwave in the water, and the dolphins absolutely love that stuff. They just party in it, do all kinds of cool stuff.
Don't chase sailboats into the up the Rappahannock.
Yeah, try and rape them.
Just I know they just like in any wake that's kicked up, they're like, wee, here I am.
Just
I can't remember the specific type of pufferfish, but yeah, there's a type of pufferfish that we have evidence.
probably specific enough to just say pufferfish for purposes of this stream.
We have evidence that dolphins will spook this one type of pufferfish to get it to puff up and then bounce it back and forth between them for a bit and then swim off like nothing fucking happened.
That's
Mom
great.
says don't eat those.
Yeah,
Wait,
but spook it into turning itself into a ball and then playing
Exactly.
volleyball with
It's-
it. Yeah.
Spook it into becoming a beach ball, bop it back and forth a number of times, and then just go, bored now, swim away. Meanwhile, that pufferfish is going, the fuck was that about?
Well, I mean, there are families of dolphins that travel the Atlantic coast waters with such regularity that people
Hold on, are you trying to explain away why these dolphins would puff up a pufferfish for no reason?
Yeah, they want to play with it.
Yeah, it's that they're bored, they want to play with it, so they do.
They they display a great deal of play behavior. Dolphins do, and they do it in the wild, and I mean, but honest to God, I think some of the eastern seaboard dolphins, it's almost hard to call them as wild as they would be in other places because they are around and interact with humans. Not in a food reliant way, but in a social way. Constantly. There's surfers out in the water, and they'll go hang out with them. If there are people ocean kayaking, dolphins, especially if you have good breakers, at shore, dolphins will come surfing in closer to shore on the waves.
Mm-hmm.
Cree caught a photograph of 3 dolphins surfing a wave in that was, it was just great. I mean, he was actually photographing some ocean kayakers,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just one of those. He was like, "Whoa, they're dolphins!" And it's just he didn't really see it as he took the picture because he was focused on the kayakers, and then when he looked at the photograph, was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yep. So, you remember how earlier you were mentioning the funny film that Trump Jr. put out, the funny video rather, where it was Trump playing golf and then cutting it so it made it look like Biden was beamed in the head? Yeah, there's been a response to this.
Oh dear.
Do you guys want me to read through a couple of these responses?
Oh sure, because there's nothing like the garbage fire that is Twitter.
The Hill wrote, Trump Jr. shares edited video showing father knocking Biden down with a golf ball. And then in the comment section of this, it includes such beauties as, I'm pretty sure this is a threat against the President of the United States. How is Junior not in jail? Whee! Firing a projectile as a president's head isn't funny after Zapruder film. In fact, I think it's illegal, like saying you're going to attack the president is. This could be insightful for some nuts.
Insightful.
Yeah, you might want to try that insightful on yourself there.
I've heard that word before, and I think I know what it means.
Yeah. I am reading these all straight.
You misspelled insightful and you lack the quality.
Exactly.
And also, after Zapruder film, not any sort of, no, after Zapruder film, caveman.
I think that's so funny. They just learned about the Zapruder film.
Yep.
That's I said earlier today on Twitter that there was a thread that I saw, and it's multiple threads, but a particular thread. I think we really need to go back to checking our milk cartons for all the missing and exploited senses of humor.
Yeah.
Because these people are, oh my God, they're humorless fucks.
So I have a third in the trio that I can read off as well. Do you want to hear the third of the trio?
Mm-hmm.
At Donald Trump Jr. need to get into jail soon. Do he promote to hurt the most powerful man Earth, Mr. President, at Joe Biden? By this time, at FBI, at State Department, at CIA, should get asked question who is behind the crime Junior tried to kill our question mark at POTUS.
Okay.
I think I had a stroke reading that.
Hover over that person's name and tell me how many followers they have.
Well, let me quickly look, because it is. Let me pull that up.
Hello, my name is Peggy.
But yeah, it just all the fucking grammar errors in that one.
That's why I said hello, my name is Peggy.
Yep. And let's see what they have. Almost, it's just shy of 4,500.
Wow.
That they're following, and 4,514 that are followers.
Wow. Usually those people have like 4.
Yeah, that's surprising.
I just love the
Peggy's
need to
popular.
get into prison. Soon do he promote to hurt the most powerful man Earth?
Sanguine, DM me the guy's at. let's not publicly do it, but DM me is at. Let me just check something real quick.
Yep, let me.
Just DM me
Go
on
back
Discord.
to
On
that.
Discord.
Yep, I'm just pulling it back up because I clicked away from it. And that is.
This is hilarious. The junior belongs in prison for sharing a meme. Did they miss?
It's a meme against most powerful man Earth.
Yes. Well, the other exciting thing is that is a rerun of the meme of it doing Hillary when she face planted going into the plane.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
I mean, that is a total rerun. So it's,
What I'm really worried about is the most powerful man Jupiter. Because
most powerful man Earth, nothing compared to most powerful man Jupiter.
yeah, it seems like that would be a massive jump in power level.
Except he'd be very jovial.
Okay.
Nowhere near
no.
as
She's real. This is not a bot. This is a real person, and she and I have a lot of mutual followers actually, and that all the ones, all of my followers who follow her are liberal.
okay. Yeah, that's the most powerful man Earth woman.
They like the most powerful man Earth, I guess.
Yeah.
The one thing that you have to admit is that the most powerful man Earth is nowhere near as flighty as the most powerful man
She's
Mercury.
she's 99% of her stuff is retweet.
Yep.
Retweeting articles mostly. Yeah, mostly without comment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking through, going back to January 19th,
Are we
and
sure
I'm
this
seeing
isn't
like
a bot?
2 tweets. I don't think it's a bot. I think this is someone who doesn't speak good English. But bots are hard to spot. They're harder than I know, Harry. I know you know this, but a lot of people will say somebody's a bot just because they don't like their politics.
No.
But there are real bots out there, and nothing but retweets is kind of
Very bot-like behavior.
that's pretty bot-like. Look, if they don't log out, if they do nothing but retweet.
I get fucked over with the don't log out. Because I'll open this up. I'll come back to
They'll
it
just
later.
ask you to log out and log in every once in a while to prove yourself to be real. It's not unreasonable.
Yeah, it's just if I know that I'm doing a whole lot of quote tweeting, comment. I'll start commenting every so often. I mean, I'm not going to comment on every single retweet because that's just ridiculous. But
This really does look somewhat automated. As I look through this.
But like I said, I'm really curious about the other most powerful men. What characteristics do they have?
yeah,
Because most powerful man Mercury must be far more flighty than all the others.
yes.
Most powerful man Venus, far more flirty.
Oh, by the way, did anybody notice that the Hatch Act is back on the trending page on Twitter?
Yep.
Because yeah, that's
Actually, probably a violation this go around, from what I saw.
well, it's the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development may have violated the Hatch Act at the White House press conference because of something about requests for, I can't remember what it is that she purportedly did that was shilling for the Democrats.
Was it that sassy woman?
It's Marcia Fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was promoting Democrats for the Ohio Senate race from the White House briefing room.
Of course she was.
Yeah. Okay. All this did was bring out all the whataboutery about Trump did that whole thing at the White House. Again, that was the whataboutery. Trump should have been charged under the Hatch Act.
The
Trump,
Hatch
Trump,
Act
Trump.
doesn't get
I know.
enforced anyway.
Well, the Hatch Act doesn't even cover the president.
I know.
Mhm.
This is the thing. They don't even know what the Hatch Act is.
In
And
fact,
they don't even know who it covers.
it specifically does not cover the president.
Yes, there is a clear exemption in the act for the president and the vice president. It's just
So
no one has ever been charged under the Hatch Act. Hasn't happened, and it's not going to. It's a piece of legislation that they probably should just get the fuck rid of, so that we can stop having to hear about it from morons who can't Google. Just Google the goddamn act. There's even a handy chart on one of the links that tells you who's covered and who isn't covered. But quit making my eyeballs bleed. Whoa, fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I think, we're at 120, and so it probably is time to run it around for parting thoughts. Dr. Functional, you still with us, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
You've been so quiet.
I've just been shifting in my seat, so I kept myself muted.
Oh.
So I'm not going every 3 seconds.
Well, we would have just thought that it was like the chorus of the people with the pitchforks coming for us. Ree, ree, ree.
Ree, ree, ree.
The call of the NPC. Do you
Nothing's broken.
There are two things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. And I'm still not sure about the universe.
Einstein?
I think that's attributed to him, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things are. It's just, oh God.
The Zappa corollary, of course, is famous. The Zappa corollary is that the universe is supposedly made out of hydrogen. The most plentiful element in the universe is hydrogen, but I don't believe that. I believe the most plentiful element in the universe is human stupidity.
Yeah.
Probably a near-run thing. If we could just build a Passard ramjet that ran on stupidity.
Oh my God. Perpetual motion machine in the Democrat National Convention.
It'd be great. We'd be on Mars already colonizing it.
Well, right in front of the big ram scoop, sort of like a masthead, we just put Diane Abbott.
And
The hippopotamus, yeah.
we put her and Stacey Abrams.
I think Stacy's smarter than Diane by a bit.
Diane
fair
Abbott is truly one of the most stupid people in public life, and I'm taking Cardi B and people like that count.
Yeah.
Is she then tied with that one?
Diane Abbott has a wet ass brain.
Who's the African leader that can't read numbers? If they go beyond hundreds?
She's worse.
She's worse.
Yeah.
Only by a bit, but she's worse.
She's also Diane Abbott and Kamala Harris have a lot in common. They got to where they are by sucking dick.
No gag reflex.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Jeremy Corbyn, that might not be an issue.
I don't know, man. The idea. It's there are times that I look at her and I'm like, is that the glaze of stupidity or PTSD? I don't know. I just don't know. Well, thank you, Functional. It's human stupidity. What a thing. It is to marvel. Sanguine.
I'll leave off with the live in defiance of your menta defectus and tell it to fuck off.
Very, very true. Mr. Adam. Mr. Adam. Mr. Adam.
He's
Ground control to Mr. Adam.
We'll come back to Mr. Adam.
yeah
Harry.
with his spear and magic helmet. Yes. I have a lot of thoughts, probably far too many, but I'm just going to say simply, I'm not really sure what's going to happen for tomorrow's show, but I do know I'm not going to try to schedule quite so much stuff in one show as last week. So it'll be a slightly more low-key show tomorrow. I hope you will come join us.
Sounds fun. I know it will be. It always is. Skep.
Well-
Mr. Bleach Man.
I was thinking about dishonest people and hypocrisy. In other words, I was thinking about politics. And I would like to remind people that everybody isn't your friend. Just because they hang around you and laugh with you doesn't mean that they are your friend. People pretend well. And at the end of the day, real situations expose fake people. So pay attention. But I'll leave you with the quote that nothing annoys me more than when someone expects you to be okay with something that they wouldn't be okay with if you did it.
Huh.
Hypocrisy is a thing, guys.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep.
I'll build on that. In the world of the hypocritical, the governor of Michigan is exempt from FOIA. Let that sink in.
That just makes me sad.
So is the legislature in Michigan.
Of course they are.
She made the rest of the executive branch accountable to FOIA, except herself. She said that she wanted to sign legislation. The legislature should do it. Now, she could have done so, but elected not to. So that's Michigan's a bigger shithole than we know. It's just, and there's a can of worms there. A whole bunch of people are suing the Department of Health and Human Services, which is not exempt from FOIA, for records on the nursing home.
You know, it's like Illinois said, we're going to be the most corrupt state on earth. And Michigan said, hold our beer.
Yeah, interestingly enough, the other state with FOIA exemption for the governor is Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, right.
And there are a number of state legislatures that have FOIA exemption. And that's something that we, the people, need to address with our legislatures. All government officials, local, state, and federal, should have to live under the Freedom of Information Act.
They should live under glass.
With pins. Stick them to boards with pins.
With humane electrical correction collars.
Yeah, that could be fun.
And penis clamps.
That could be fun. Adam, are you back, hon? I'm afraid not. Well, I guess on behalf of Adam, I'll say take care, everybody. Love you. God bless. And tomorrow evening, as Harry said, he will be in this chair. I would thank you for coming out, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me on this Friday. And I appreciate chat, as always. So with that, everybody, the zoo is closed. Good night.
Good night,
Good night, all.
Good night.
Bye-bye.